Hey everybody, welcome back. It has become time to do our annual totals. She's giving them away there prematurely, so flip that down a little bit.
Oopsie.
Remember, there is Miss Sonia, bass fisherman extraordinaire, first mate of the tiny boat, and well, here we are. But anyway, I want to really this time of the morning. Let me silence my phone. Let's say this time of the morning. It's kind of early, kind of late, however you look at it. But anyway, I want to preface here. This year has been an off year. March, April, May, we had severe rains and floods off and on for those 3 months. We didn't get out. There's videos on the flooding. There's nowhere to get out to. In June, I couldn't remember why in the world we wasn't catching fish in June down at the lake in the boat. Then I remembered the road was closed for the entire month of June up until the 28th or 29th. And the detour around it was extreme. I had an older vehicle. It had a ton of mileage. It had a lot of mileage. Well over 200,000. And the distance of the detour and the hours that we keep coming home at night, it ran good, but it has some chassis issues. Then I found a pretty drastic chassis issue. The frame rusted in two. So we just didn't put that much strain on it to do that detour. The frame hadn't rusted in two at that point, but I just didn't feel right putting that strain on it. So the road opened up and we started going down to the lake. The first day we was there was July the 5th. And we hit it as much as we could after that. We had a good period there. The water got good and stable, normal levels. Then we went into the drought, the severe heat and drought. Triple-digit heat indexes and no rain, and it hasn't rained. Yesterday, it rained, light rain, all day long. 50 degrees, miserable. So we finally got a couple of light showers. But anyway, we went into the drought and the water levels dropped. The lower water levels.
Say that 3 times.
The water heated up and got hot, and they wasn't much moving. We didn't have much luck, not near as much water in the bodies of water, and it gets warmer quicker. And things go deep, and they tend to try to stay out, stay down in the cool. So it was a weird weather this year, and then closed a main state route for a month. But anyway, we did fish, of course. We hit our ponds here. There's videos on it, videos of the flooding, videos of the drought. The ponds up there, you need to walk 20 and 30 feet across the mud flat, wrists sinking up to your buttocks in muck to get to the water's edge. It'd tell you a good one day. We was down at the river in Cheshire, Ohio River, fishing at the boat ramp. You got the ramp comes down this way, and to the right goes around the bank and some brush towards the power plant and the barges and all that. Great place to catfish. I was sitting on the ramp. I'd seen somebody do that before. She stepped over there. Looked like solid dried mud. It was just a little bit of a crust, and she sunk through and went up to her knees in that muck. You remember that?
Barely.
Had to fish her shoe and stuff out of there, but yeah, some of that hard, dry surface is a little bit deceiving. You can go down in the muck in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but yeah, you went around that way. He's going to try to get towards those barges where those big cats laid, and
Yeah, I've forgotten about that.
yeah, sunk up to her knees. That little bit of a crust, I don't know, maybe about that thick of dried river muck, broke through, and it was just suction slime under it. But anyway, that's the deal here with the ponds. I've done some pictures. It kind of feel your way across it. I've walked out to the one, and some of it was pretty mushy, and I backed off and went a different way. But Point being, we've had a weird year. Flooding, then drought, then low water levels, then hot water. Nothing biting. You really have to pull out everything you got to get a fish. You know, to get coax one into biting in that kind of water temps. So, with the weather change, we're around 50 in the day, mid-30s at night, they say. And this light rain water is going to cool down. I don't know that we're done fishing for the year, but we're done enough. We totaled up. So let's go ahead and get into that. Now, I will put a picture up of last year's totals for comparison. Might briefly go over the last year's totals only after we do this one. So whenever you're ready there, dear. I'll put a picture of that up here while she's reading it off. So anyway, here is 2024, the screwed up year.
So I'm supposed to read this off, huh?
Yep, like you did last year.
All right, these are mine. Total catches were 18.
Boo. Oh. Did I say that out loud?
Pounds were 8.6. We didn't weigh 14 of them. Length was 177 inches. I caught 6 bluegills, 1 bass, 11 cats, no crappie. He did better, of course. Total catches were 35. Total pounds was 4.9.
The poundage is way off on mine.
Yeah.
But there's reasons we'll get into.
Yeah. Total knot weight was 32 of them. Total length was 255 inches. Total bluegills was 28. Bass, only 1. Cats, 5. And crappie, 1. He's doing the totals?
Yep.
Alright, we caught 53 total fish. Weighed in at 13.5 pounds. Total length ended up being 36.78 feet. Not weighed, we did a total of 46 of them. We had 4 species. The bluegills, 34 fish total. Cats were 16 total. Bass, 2 total. Crappie, 1 total. I think that's all of it.
Okay. Now in comparison to 2023, we'll get this picture up there also of this totals. We caught 91 fish for a total weight of 40.99 pounds, 41 pounds. Total length 868 3/4 inches. I don't know what that breaks down into feet. We got a calculator right here. Let's just 868.70 divided by 12 equals 72.3 feet if you line them up tip to tip. And that's a lot of fish. The total we didn't weigh was 47, and we had 4 species: gills, crappie, bass, and cats. But anyway, we'll get back to this. She's got last year's totals there too. Like I said, a couple of prefaces. All spring we fought major flooding, major rains. Then the rains turned off and the water came down and settled out, and there was a great window there for a while. But that's when the heat and the dry set in, and when the heat and the dry came up, you know, the water started getting bad. It was algae filled. You could see the particulate floating in the water. I mean, it just floated in it everywhere, and the water was hot. After those,
some of that heat is just not healthy to get out into.
And you know, we enjoy fishing, and I can take some heat. I love summer. I'll take 92, 93 over 50 any day. But you go throw in the humidity and all that in, you get into the triple digit indexes. We're not going to go out and play in that. But anyway, we had that. There was a lot of them not weighed in the beginning. We had either forgot the scale or forgot to put batteries in it. We take the batteries out every fall when we're done so they don't corrode in there. A couple of trips out, oh man, we forgot the batteries again, or that type of thing. And
That happens.
till you knock the dust off the season, you know, get in the groove there, the routine. So there's a lot of them not weighed. We caught a lot of fish. Nothing like last year. 53 versus 91. 53 this year, 91 last year.
Yeah, last year was a good year.
And we had the whole year, though. I mean, we had, everything was accessible.
Yeah.
The weather worked for us. There's a few hot days in there, but nothing intolerable.
Right.
So,
It was a good year.
and I'm going to say that was our typical year. If you look back at years before, you know, we're somewhere around that groove as we was last year, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And this year was just off. Like I said, we had the flooding rains. The videos are up. The rains just kept coming and coming and coming. Then when it quit, you know, the road was closed. And I just wasn't going to travel that big of a distance down and back on that detour. And we lost a month down there. You know, we fished up here in the ponds and around.
Yeah.
I do want to put one other thing in there. Yeah, I slip off and go fishing with some buddies of mine. One of those was, I think it was called a lightning round, 30 minutes, something like that. I don't do video. So when we're out fishing, nor do I count them on this count.
No.
Yeah, me and a couple of buddies, a couple of friends, we go out and we fish and we have a good time. Don't have to worry about video. They don't do the social media thing, really. Nor have I asked, you know, but we enjoy the time we go out and just fish. You don't have to worry about getting that shot, taking that picture. Got to turn around because the sun's shining behind you or nothing like that. It's just good to go out and go fishing. So I don't count them. There's some fish caught that never makes video. And if she was to do the same thing, you know, we wouldn't count it either. The only things we count is what we get together.
Right.
So, but anyway, there's the year totals. For this year, they're off. The year was off. We got some more videos coming up. We have some fantastic gear, new, that has been added that's not really been introduced yet,
No.
that we're going to be trying and catching fish with. I'll just go ahead and be positive and say it. And there's no road scheduled to be closed next year. Yeah, I got a new vehicle. Hitch ain't on it. I'll get that. We've got till March anyway. Ain't no big hurry to go and throw a $500 hitch on it and then sit there and look at it and think, man, I wish we could go fishing. That would irk me. But anyway, we're good. A lot easier on gas than the old Blazer was. It gets at least twice the mileage. But anyway, we won't have to take no big detours. We'll be out. I'm changing some things up. Now, okay, let me see that again here. You know, you see me on the bluegills. You know, I caught 28. If you remember back when all this started this spring, before everything got jacked up the way it did, weather and roads and stuff, I said I was going to target bluegills and try to catch large bluegills. And I paid attention to the bluegills this year, and you can tell it in my catfish. You know, I caught, let's see, I caught 5. Yeah, I was
Crazy.
Yeah, because, you know, last year, let's see what I caught last year, 20.
Because you always catch the cats.
But like I said, I was concentrating on the bluegill this year. And I caught bluegill. Didn't catch anything that would make great sandwiches. Well, they was good sandwiches, but you know, I didn't catch the big
No.
10.5-inch ones that I used to catch sometimes. But anyway, I targeted bluegill this year. Kind of laid off the cats, obviously. Next year I got a new target species. I'm slowly gearing up.
Do tell.
Stay tuned. slowly gearing up for that species. Now I am going to pick up the catfishing a little bit more than I did this year. I missed that. That's my first love.
Yep.
But yeah, I've been adding a little bit of gear along, and I will through the winter to get completed, and we're going to come out of the gates next year with something fresh, along with my catfish. I'm not going to neglect the cats this year. I feel shamed that I've done that. I'm ashamed of myself, so because I love catfishing.
You do. Yep.
But anyway, here's our totals. We'll put it up here. We thank everybody for joining us. There will be more videos coming out here over the winter. There shouldn't be very big gaps in them, very big. But we have videos slated, content and subject matter slated for the winter. So we want to thank everybody that has watched, subscribed, joined us, supported us, been patrons. We're somewhere up around 110,000 views now, and I don't know how many watch hours and all that other stuff. We're around the world, seen on 6 continents, and we appreciate everybody. There's one out there, just go ahead and call him Tim. Tim, we appreciate you, buddy. You might not hear from me much, but I'm not quite the social media interactive one. Yeah, on Facebook and that sort of thing. Life's been a little busy lately for me, and that's a good thing. And time gets away. And there's another one down there, down south of us. We ain't going to mention no names because he don't want a name mentioned. We appreciate everything you've done and staying with us. So to everybody out there, all 110,000 of you, wow. And like I said, we started this as just another way to back up memories for something for the grandkids to watch, you know, because
Right.
as you get older, you wonder what your grandparents done. Your kids, not so much. And I thought, well, it'll just be family that watches us. Ha! It ain't none of our family ever watches us.
And they're not so much into pictures as they are the videos now.
But anyway, the grandkids, yeah, they'll see this. They'll be curious one day. And they'll look, man, look at that YouTube. I'm surprised it still even exists or something like that. You know, about like the way we did with old black and white pictures. But anyway, we started it for that. It was just another backup for the grandkids, thinking nobody would ever watch this except for our family, kids and grandkids. Well,
Fooled us.
yeah, I had that totally wrong. But we want to thank everybody for joining us. Stay with us. We're not done until spring. We've taken on a different shift with our weather change here. The ponds are getting ready to close for the winter. Will we sneak down to the lake and have a fishing pole in the back? That's a good possibility, just depending on the weather. We have fished Christmas Day before.
We have.
Yeah, that sounds kind of weird, but you know, with our different sides of the family, our holiday is usually the Saturday after the holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, which leaves us, you know, that the actual day of the holiday free. So we slip out and we do our own thing.
Yep.
That day. And I can guarantee you on Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, there ain't going to be nobody around that lakeshore. They're all home watching TV and eating dinner, which is, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. But, you know, the roads are pretty vacant. And, but anyway, again, thank everybody. Stay with us. There's more to come. We're not done. We get into enough over the winter with our gear and everything that we're going to be adding stuff along. So, all 110,000 and some of you out there around the world, thank you. Thank you to our special ones, too.
And speaking of which, we might not get this out, or might not get back before Thanksgiving, but please, everybody have a very, very wonderful Thanksgiving with your families and friends, and be safe. We love you. Thank you.